So this is us, and we've both been yoga meditation instructors for a long time, mindfulness instructors. I was with the Center for Educational Improvement, still am. I'm now a senior scholar there. And Kahlil works with Montgomery County Schools and is an adjunct professor at George Washington University as well. So that's us. Yeah. So this comes under Cultivating Happiness, a new program for the Center for Educational Improvement. This is the third of 3 sessions, and you're going to get lots of opportunities to practice tonight, which Kahlil and I love. And you know what people say? They say, you can't learn yoga or meditation by reading about it. Just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. You can't learn it by just talking about it. You really have to practice. So we've got lots of practice set up for you today. Next slide. Okay, so let's just find out something about you. And I want to let you know that we will be available. The class ends at 6:15, but Kahlil and I can hang around for a little bit if you have additional questions. So could you add information in the chat box? If you're a yoga teacher or a teacher, just put the number, mindfulness coordinator, or there's some focus tonight on coordinating mindfulness programs in schools. So if you're thinking about, maybe that's something you want to do in the future, just let us know. Okay. And here's the book. Hopefully you've got the book by now. You've been reading it. It's based a lot on Kundalini yoga. Both of us are certified Kundalini instructors, and Kundalini is kind of known as the yoga of awareness. There's a lot we do to shift energy so that we think about what we can do to be more alert, to have a higher energy level, or to be more calm. And one of the things about Kundalini that Kahlil and I love is that it's based on a rhythmic motion. And so many yogas, will have you just get into a pose and stand there forever. And sometimes you can get sore doing that. And sometimes you can lose your balance. And, but it's really good to practice. So I'm not being critical. There's lots of wonderful things about every single yoga. However, there is a little bit of research saying this Kundalini yoga that we really emphasize with the rhythmic motions does more to work on the neuroscience on the brain and perhaps can really implement or help you implement changes more quickly. So when you practice the rhythmic motions with us today, see how you feel. One of the things we always tell people is give it 40 days. You've got to practice and practice a few times a week, maybe find a little time in the morning. I remember starting with about 6 minutes in the morning and doing some warm-ups. And, now most of my yoga practice sessions are 45 minutes. That's my own personal time. And it's yoga, meditation, relaxation during that time. But you need some practice with it. You need to do it daily if possible. And anyway, see what happens. Sometimes the rhythmic motion can feel a little off-putting, because it's like new. And you think, do I like it or not? Stay with it. Okay. And then I will also say that for me, I've been teaching this since 2001. And one of the reasons I love this type of yoga and teaching it is that there's always something new. I have about 14 or 15 books I teach from. And to me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this one. I love this set. And then, a month later, I will be open up my book and think, I think I'm going to teach this one. And I'll think, have I ever taught that? It's amazing to keep discovering. And for me and my body, and maybe you feel this some with regular exercise and movement, sometimes you do something a little unique and you say, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Or isn't that amazing? Now we can try one thing right now with shoulder shrugs, just inhaling up, exhaling down. Now inhale up, exhale down as you rotate your shoulders back. And let's do some neck rotations too, inhaling back and exhaling forward. And reverse. And then just pause. And we have a thing where we're teaching, put your hands in Jnana Mudra, which is thumb and index finger together, resting your wrists on your knees. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths, getting the breath deep into the belly. And just see how you feel. So as you inhale, slow and deep, inhaling, 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 and sustaining the breath. And then exhaling, pulling the navel point to the spine, hold the breath out. Do that a couple times. Then inhale and open your eyes. You may even feel at this moment a different energy circulating throughout your body, you know? And as I was saying before, sometimes these new movements are things my body loves. And it's like shoulder shrugs. Oh, wow. How did I live 40 years without any of those? I don't know. I mean, I think young children who get this yoga are just so blessed because it can do so much to support your sense of mind, body, and spirit, and which are all so important for learning. So that's part of the introduction. The other part, next slide. Oh, I just want to remind you before we go on that if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. If I don't get to them, then what you can do is Hallie or Sarah are helping to support this work. One of them can nudge me or interrupt and say, hey, we've got a question. So go ahead. If you've done some readings and have questions from the readings, that's good as well. So I want to relate this to the 5 C's. Now, some of you know that the Center for Educational Improvement is known for 5 C's. This is our signature approach to social emotional learning. And what it says is that if we think about it, we need to make sure that we're consciously aware of ourselves, our emotions, of others. How can we live with other people and do things that support them and support ourselves without that awareness? We also know that if you've experienced trauma, sometimes what you want to do is stuff it down and just ignore it, right? Get away from it, escape. Well, over time, when you do that, everything in your body kind of tightens up. And it becomes harder to have this natural flow of energy, which is so important for being alive, for being aware, for just experiencing life. So conscious awareness are the first few steps. Just spend some time with mindfulness. We'll talk about this later. We know that compassion is critical. Everything that's going on in the world today. Oh, so much trauma, drama. Compassion is needed, and compassion for self. We can help you with that. We have sets, breath work, meditations that are related to each of the 5 C's. There is a hierarchy here starting at the bottom. So consciousness leads to compassion. With practice, you have confidence, you have success. And, the first time you do some of this, you may not feel all that confident. Or there may be other stuff going on in your life and you just feel like you've got a negative mindset. It's like, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen. But keep practicing, get out of your mind, get into your heart, and you can build that confidence. With that comes courage. And we want to do this with a sense of community, a sense of belonging. So in the book, we relate the yoga, mindfulness, meditations to the 5 C's. And now before we go further, I would like us just to tune in. And so what we're going to do is rub our hands together, create that nice energy, and you feel that you're centered. You can close your eyes, focusing right at the third eye point, or lower your gaze, whichever is comfortable. Thumbs are on your sternum. And we're just going to breathe first. Breathe deep into the belly, inhaling, expanding the abs. Sustain the breath. Exhale slowly, bringing the navel point to the spine. And hold the breath out. And do it again. And we're just going to chant a few sounds today to tune in. We've been using different procedures. So the first one is going to be ah, okay? Everyone together. Ah. Again. Ah. Let's go. Oh. 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 And for fun, let's do zzz. This is a Z sound. Zzz. Not quite as loud, but let's try it again. Zzz. A little harder. But you can play with sounds. You could do words, and we have some traditional ways of tuning in. But basically, with the tuning in, we're shifting our consciousness and just being aware of the sound, our spirit, our body, our mind. Take a couple deep breaths. And then we're going to come to standing and do archer pose and warrior pose and some warm-ups. Okay. And you've probably done these before. Many of you probably have done something like warrior. Okay, so I've got my thumb out. Now you notice my body is facing straight ahead. Thumb, this is right thumb. My right knee is bent. A little hard to tell with the small picture, I know. But here we go. Bend the right knee in the same direction as the right thumb. And then you pull the left arm back as if you have a bow and arrow. Turn your head to face the right thumb. And you can hold now. Shoulder blades together and back. Feel the stretch across your chest. And then we'll come up. And a Kundalini way to do this is we may go up and down a few times. So come up and down, up and down. You want to feel a stretch across your groin. Your feet should be probably about 3 feet apart, at least for us adults. If you don't get much of a stretch, you can increase the distance. Let's just do one more part. This is warrior. Bending your knees. Straighten the right leg and tilt downward so that your right hand is going near the right ankle. Left arm is up. Turn your head up towards the left. Pushing down on your feet, come up. And we'll do the other side. So left thumb is out. Left knee is bent. Body is facing forward. Head turns to face the left thumb. Right arm goes back in the bow and arrow pose. Hold. Feel the shoulder blades together and back. Feel the stretch across the chest. Now inhale up and exhale down a few times. Exhale down and hold. Come up. This is warrior. Bend the left knee to begin with. Then come up and tilt. Left hand going down towards the left ankle. Right arm is up. Head turns to face the right hand. Inhale up and come back to sitting. Now I have a whole sequence I usually do with my students when I teach that has a few more parts to it, but you get the basic idea. It's really a wonderful stretch. And you think about sitting in chairs at desks all day long. And standing up and walking around does one thing, but a stretch like these stretches, wow, amazing. Okay, so I think, let's go to the next slide. Yep, Kahlil, it's your turn.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're going to start with the Surya Kriya. Thank you so much, Dr. Mason, for getting our bodies warmed up. I love this Kriya, and I think it's very appropriate given that tomorrow is summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And you'll notice that this particular Kriya or exercise set is named after the energy of the sun. And so I want you to think about, as we are just briefly going to go through, we have about 6 postures. Very simple, but it's going to build our ability to really, really focus on many different tasks and really help the mind to become very much alert and ready for action. And when you think about yoga in schools and children, this is exactly what we would like for them to do, to be able to focus, to be mentally alert and ready for action. So let's build our strength. Let's improve our digestion. And let's have some fun. So the first exercise that we're going to do, we're going to breathe long and deep, full and complete, in and out of the right nostril. Right nostril breathing. And they say that the right nostril correlates with the sun and the left nostril correlates with the moon. And so if we want to get energy and be energetic, then we want to spend some time breathing long and deep out of that right nostril. So I'm going to ask you to sit up nice and tall if you're in your chair. I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to place my thumb right onto my left nostril. Remember the hand movement that Dr. Mason told us about earlier, Gya Mudra. I'm just resting my hand, which is touching my index finger and thumb, and we're just going to begin to breathe long and deep. If it feels comfortable, I want you to close the eyes and maybe focus right at the brow point. Take a moment to stimulate the pituitary gland. Or if you want to just bring that gaze downward. All right, let's inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out of the right nostril, block that left nostril with the thumb of the left hand. Our other fingers are just pointing straight up, just like an antenna. Inhale and exhale. Just a few more. You're doing a great job. Stay really focused. This is an excellent tool for the classroom. There we go. We're going to inhale to 4, maybe exhale to 4. Just keep your focus. Nice. Bringing in that energy or that energetic, expressive, extroverted, enthusiastic energy. Just going to go for maybe 3 more seconds, bringing in that energy of purification. There you go. And inhale deeply. Nice. Let's block off the left nostril and exhale out of both nostrils. Bring the hands down, relax for a moment. And just notice we're stimulating what we call the pranic energy or the breath. So just notice how you feel, bringing in that energy, the right side of the body, doing right nostril breathing. Awesome. All right. So this next exercise, we're going to do it. It won't take long. If you can, I'm going to ask that you come seated on your heels. If that causes any type of pain or discomfort, feel free to sit in your chair, but keep your feet grounded. And we're going to bring our arms up. So my arms are going to extend straight up, elbows hugging the ears. Now, for this particular hand mudra, my index fingers are touching and my thumbs are crossed, right? I'm seated on my heels. Nice. And as I inhale, I'm going to chant the mantra, Sat Nam. Release the belly. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. And what does Sat Nam mean? Sat Nam, truth, is my identity. So the spine is nice and straight. If there's any discomfort sitting on your heels, you can also sit on a pillow. So let's just start. Eyes are closed. We're just going to do it. Let's do it for maybe 10 seconds. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. Release the belly. Inhale, Sat. Squeeze the navel center. Exhale, Nam. Inhale, Sat. 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 Exhale, Nam. One more time. Inhale, Sat. Hold the breath. Squeeze the body. Squeeze the organs of the rectum and the sex organs. Just squeeze, holding in that energy. And exhale as you release the hands down. Come back to an easy seated position. Just take a moment. Just take a moment to breathe. Relax the arms and the breath. We're going to repeat that again. So if it feels better to just stay on the knees or stay on the pillow, go ahead. And when you're ready, this time we're just going to do it for 5. So let's come back onto the heels. Let's stretch the arms up, interlace the hands, cross the hands, thumbs at the fingers, close the eyes. We're going to inhale, bring that energy up. Sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam. Inhale. Sat, hold the breath, squeeze the body, squeeze the muscles of the rectum, the sex organs, hold just for 2, hold just for 1, and now exhale, release and let go. Bring the arms down and around you. Relax your body. Just relax. Mentally draw in all of that energy from the crown of the head, bringing that energy into the fingertips, moving through the body. Take a moment. Here we go. So as we come back to the seated position, let's grab our ankles. I'm seated in a cross-legged seated position. And we're going to hold on to our shins. There we go. Here are my shins. Didn't realize you couldn't see my camera. And we're just going to do spinal flex. We're going to keep working that energy up the spine. So on the inhale, I'm going to lift my chest, lift my heart. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, exhale. Move with your breath. If you can imagine, this is really an excellent tool in the classroom. There's so much stuff that can get caught, in the spine. So many reasons for the heart to be closed. So just taking a moment, even if it's just students in our chairs, to spinal flex. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale, And exhale, release. Seat it up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders down and back. We're almost there. Just maybe 3 more exercises, 3 more minutes. So now we're going to come up. We're going to get that energy going. Remember that this is the Kriya of energy, that sun energy. So what better way to do it but to do the frog pose? So we're going to come up into a frog. Kids love this. They're always like, ribbit? I'm like, yeah, ribbit. And hopping. So what we want to do for frog pose, we're really, if you can, I'm bringing my heels together. I'm going to rest both of my hands onto my mat. My hands are not going to leave my mat. On the inhale, I'm going to straighten out my legs, bring my head as close as I can to my knees. On the exhale, I'm going to bring my head up, looking towards the sky. Inhale, come down. Exhale, come up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, we're going to do 10. Exhale, another 7, almost there. Inhale and exhale. We can do this up to 26. And you can begin to just work through that. Okay, last 5, you're doing great. Inhale and exhale. Nice for 3. Inhale and exhale. Last 2. Breathe, inhale, straighten those legs, exhale, come back, bring the head back. Nice. Last 2, inhale and exhale. Last 1, inhale and exhale. And slowly, let's come back down, seated. Again, in an easy cross-legged position, or if you're seated in your desk, just come seated. Just make sure that your feet are nice and grounded and you can feel that grounding. So take a moment just to breathe, inhale and exhale. Relax. Nice. So when you're ready, we just have one more exercise after this. Come back onto your heels, or however you're seated, we're just going to do nice, easy neck turns. So if you could come seated on your heels, that's really nice, with maybe a pillow if it's causing any discomfort. Or if you're just seated straight up in your chair, we're going to inhale. Nice. Turn the head to the left. Exhale to the right. And just stretch. Again, we're bringing that energy, that sun energy into the body. Continue. I say if we want, we can mentally vibrate numb. Inhale and exhale. Just continue this movement for 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to our center. Excellent job, everyone. Let's place the hands on the shoulders, fingers in back, elbows up nice and high. And we're just going to bend the spine, moving to the left, moving to the right. This is our last exercise. We have a very brief meditation, but feel that stretch as you're stretching the side body. Use your breath, inhaling through the nose as we stretch up, exhaling as that arm comes down. Nice. Let's do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Come back to our center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Bring those arms down. Just take a moment, hands in Gya Mudra, spine nice and straight, and just breathe long and deep, full and complete. If it feels right, focus at the brow point. Let's stimulate our pituitary gland. Let's activate our innate ability to be intuitive. Or if it's more comfortable, just bring your gaze downward. We're going to take just about 10 seconds to breathe, to focus. Nice. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Now let's shake the hands out, maybe rub the hands together. Congratulations, you've activated your sun energy on this solstice eve. Thank you so much for your light and for your energy. You've just had the Surya Kriya. And I think we listed the page where we can find that in the book if folks would like to do it. You can do this Kriya up to 31 minutes, 62 minutes. You can do it for 40 days. I've had a ball teaching this and using some of it, all of it, parts of it with my students. Thank you very much. Chris, back to you.
Okay, so we had a request to talk more about the vagus nerve. You know, it's an amazing nerve. It's one of the major nerves of the body. It's actually a nerve that bundles nerves together, and they go right from your gut, kind of meandering all the way up to the brain and back and forth. So it's the brain-gut connection, okay, the mind-body connection through the vagus nerve. It is a nerve that will help you, well, improve your immune system, improve your sense of well-being. If your vagus nerve is weak, then you may feel weak, okay? If your breath is weak, a shallow breath, your vagus nerve is probably not going to be fully toned. So there are many things we can do. But someone asked me, like, how does this really work? And this is a little complex. There are actually apps now that you can get to measure vagal tone or heart rate variability. But essentially, vagal tone relates to the breathing rate and the rate at which you inhale and when you exhale. And you want to get a bigger difference. So, and again, there's, systems that'll measure this. If you get more variation, then your vagal tone is stronger. And you just think about it. If you're feeling weak, you're sick. Remember how that feels? Just everything slows way down, right? There's not much energy there. So what can we do with the vagal nerve? Well, lots of things. You can hum. Try humming. You can feel that right in your throat, right? And in your lips. So that vibration will actually help to strengthen the vagal nerve. You can sing. So I've intentionally walked up and down the stairs this last week or so and been singing because sometimes I forget to do that, I get so busy, so wrapped up. But singing is a wonderful thing to do. Chanting. So let's do it again. Like, ah. Isn't that awesome? Movement. Okay, stretching your body. The archer pose is wonderful. Anything that really gets the expanse across the chest is particularly good. Because the heart muscles are improved, the lungs are improved, all of that. So something else to do. Okay. There's a lot more we could say, but I think your basic primer is hum, sing, breathe, move, stretch, and that vagus nerve will be stronger. And there's a good chance that, in fact, the spinal flex is a good thing, really good for digestion. Your digestion will be better, and you're getting that energy up to the brain, so you're probably going to think just a little better too. Okay. Next. Okay, and here's some references so you can just, pay attention to those or not. I'm going to spend a couple minutes before we get to Montgomery County Schools. I want to do one meditation for you. It's the I Am meditation, and it's cool. And it's pretty simple. We're just going to do a really basic one. And essentially, what you want to do is close your eyes, focus on the center of the forehead, or lower your gaze. Right hand is going to be in Jnana Mudra. Left hand is going to be in front of your heart. So before you close your eyes, you may want to see what I'm doing. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 8 inches out. You're going to move it in closer to you and say, I am. And then you're going to move it further out. I am. I am. I am. Am. I am. And as you do this, you're going to be thinking, I am the small I, the one who pays attention to just the petty details, what you have to do to get through the day, the I am. And then the more expansive one that connects with the universe, the universal awareness and oneness. I am. I am. I am. I am. It's wonderful music you can get to go with this. I am. I am. Yeah. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. And inhale, exhale. Um, like I said, there's wonderful music. And if we want to increase a sense of self, who are you? It's just me. And you can have discussions about this. Like, who are you? Your small self and your real expansive self that connects with everything. Okay, Kahlil, back to you.
Okay, so a little bit about implementation in Montgomery County Public Schools. We have been implementing our program for about 4 years. The goal ultimately is to increase the well-being and productivity of not only our students, but our staff. And we're looking at all aspects of our health. Next slide, please. And if you had to look at a model that we use for mindfulness and yoga for youth, which encompasses our wellness project, you see that there's that idea of connection using mindfulness tools. That's the breath. We did a lot of that this evening. Dr. Mason has just talked about it, the movement, everything from maybe doing an archer pose to sort of get us focused, or some frogs, or, spinal flexes to help us focus. And then there's that relaxation, the importance of balancing and resting. So we use this 5-element structure in the classrooms and whatever Kriya we're working on. Next slide, please. And we've been measuring. If you go to Montgomery County Public Schools, our website, you can see some of the outcomes and some of the impact objectives. As Dr. Mason mentioned earlier, we are practicing the yoga of awareness. And so we do activities around reports that will talk about their increased motivation for healthy lifestyles, or lifestyle changes, or the like. Next slide. And so overall, I would just say that a lot of what we've been practicing here, this text is one of the texts that we actually use in the classroom. And so it has just been a joy to watch our students exhibit that happiness, that resilience, and well-being through meditation, mindfulness, and movement. So thank you for inviting me to share what we're doing at MCPS. And we're looking forward to doing even more in the years to come. So thank you again, Dr. Mason.
Thank you as well. Okay, so any questions? We'll open it up. Questions now?
I'd like to introduce Amanda Berg, who's here with us and is probably our only not staff member. Amanda is in the enviable position of getting a job in a new school district starting next year, and has become very connected to our work and is totally all in on what CEI stands for, on our focus on mindfulness. And I can't say enough about her. I know her because she was a 5th grader when I was a principal, her principal. And apparently has kept in touch with the weird things Jill Flanders did with her life. So Amanda, if you want, go ahead and say a few things about how this works for you and possibilities you see. I'd love for you to get to know who's here tonight even better.
She may have dropped, Jill. I don't see her. She was here
Yep.
For all of it. I don't know if she got disconnected, but yeah, she was here the whole time.
We have ripping thunderstorms going through right now.
Oh, well, there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, I could see her. She was practicing. So I'm really glad you said who she was, because I didn't know who she was, and that's really exciting. I would love to hear, or even if she needs any type of assistance with some of the tools that we're using with MCPS, I would love to share.
Mm-hmm. No, you will. I know Chris will be seeing her name pop up again here and there. Chris, she has signed on and is participating in CSLA. She did write for us last year.
Yep.
And yeah, she is very connected to what we're doing and what we hope to be doing.
Well, so this is just a little taste of what we could do if we had, 6 weeks of implementation or 6 months of implementation. Our belief is that these are things that can be done every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would like to leave us with one more thing. So, I know the group here and we talk a lot. So, but we're going to have a recording and we'll send the recording out to all the registrants. And we'll also have links available at the website, which is good. But I just thought there is a meditation of for the good to come to you. And I thought, solstice time, summertime, there's so much going on. So if you would just rub your palms together and then cup your hands in front of you. And again, lower your gaze or close your eyes. Now, this time, I want you to imagine that you're just filling your cup in front of you with goodness, with success, with whatever it is you need, health. Just breathe and feel it. And then you can go ahead and pull this over your head and sprinkle it so it gets down into your being. And inhale up and exhale down. There are variations on that, but anyway, be well. Have a great summer. Thank you.